Hey guys, Michael.as.Michael here, and I don't know if you're aware, but the first of every month, every streaming services usually brings a lot of new releases. And by new releases, I mean new things to streaming, but older movies. So that is why I bring for you Old is New, where I go through all those lists of all the new stuff coming in the first of the month, and then I'll parse through and pick out a couple of really good ones, and then pitch them for you. If I'm going a little too fast, just save the video and watch back for later. Pause when you need, etc., etc. Anyways, without further ado, at Netflix this month, if you're into dramas in space, Apollo 13 is going to be where you want to go. It's about the real life situation with Apollo 13 where everything goes sideways and the amazing individuals come together to really do something about it. And man, this movie's really good. It's classic. If you haven't seen it, shame, and go watch it right now. Space is still where you want to go, but you want to go a little bit more into the thinking. Christopher Nolan's Interstellar, and man, is that movie beautiful. But maybe humor is where you want to go. And in that case, Jim Carrey's Bruce Almighty, where he plays God himself, question mark? Man, classic Jim Carrey hasn't been this classic in a long time. He's great in the Sonic movies and everything, but I really miss those old school Jim Carrey comedies like Liar Liar and like this. Maybe Jim Carrey's not your thing and Ben Stiller's a little bit more. In that case, Meet the Fockers and all of those sequels are there as well. But if you want some action with your comedy, Rush Hour's where you're going to want to go. And man, that has the legendary Jackie Chan just kicking ass, doing his stunt thing at his prime. Oh, I just rewatched these recently and so worth it. Plus, Chris Tucker is hilarious as always. The latest sequel's not nearly as good as the first, but definitely worth watching. But if none of those sound interesting, maybe a coming-of-age comedy starring Jennifer Garner, 13 Going on 30. If you haven't seen it, it's really funny. If none of that tickles your fancy and you want something with a little bit more slashing and a little bit more blood, slasher classic I Know What You Did Last Summer starring Jennifer Love Hewitt, now might be the perfect time to revisit that classic because there is going to be a new one this year. And guess who just signed on? Jennifer Love Hewitt. So she's going to come back to that franchise. So if you want to refresh, now is the time. And finally, I am only including this because it touches the child heart in me. Three Ninjas Kick Back. If you haven't seen this classic, maybe you'll probably want to skip it. But if you have seen it and you remember, and obviously like, oh my God, I remember picking up that VHS back in the day, you may want to watch this. That's everything new coming to Netflix this month.